welcome back to another episode of Deep Dive Podcast. This is episode 13. We have Paranormal Trinity with us tonight. Thank you guys for coming in. Look, we have a pupper in the picture. She's a diva, we hear.
Yeah. She's glued to us.
That's quite all right. All right, coming up Sunday night, we have future paranormal investigators with us at 7 p.m. Central Time. They are a group that take high school kids out to get them started in the paranormal field. And then Wednesday, the 29th at 7, we'll have Bluff Paranormal on as guests. So you guys want to tune into those episodes as well. We're getting those out there. May is chocked full of a bunch of people as well. That is going to drop. I think I have that scheduled to drop Wednesday. So the whole month of May will be posted out there on Wednesday. We will get back into our deep dive haunts, reliving our episodes as we are able to, opposite of the other podcast. And we do have 2 investigations coming up this week. We are back to back at Billy Creek and Indiana State. Those are going to be a lot, to say the least. I'll be looking for us to go live during those podcasts. Be sure you guys say hi in the comments. Ask any questions that you guys would like. And I am sure we can get these guys to answer them for us. Anyway, Beverly and Mike, thank you guys so much for being on the show. We appreciate it. These two, along with their son and his fiance, Asia, do family hauntings. They go check out houses that have paranormal activity going on in them in Ohio and several surrounding areas. They also investigate abandoned building and houses and go to popular venues. I do know that they have some locations coming up as well. We'll talk about those as we get into those. They do go investigate people's houses, those family hauntings, free of charge, because they feel they have enough to deal with, trying to deal with the paranormal activity. That is awesome. I know there are a lot of us out there that actually do the same thing. We will go investigate for free. And it can be daunting and it could be a task, especially if you're driving a long ways away to go help that family out. So thank you for that service that you guys do. That is awesome. Tell us a little bit more about you guys, how long you've been in doing it.
Well, we kind of been involved in the paranormal as far as loving it for years, but I started before he did, back in like 21, going different places around here, and decided, I'm at the age now, I'm going to do something I like and I'm going to get into it. So I did. And his cousins that I started it with in the beginning, they end up getting pregnant with twins and had to back out. And then his other cousin stepped in because he was working so much, he wasn't able to do anything. So now he's going to retire soon. So him and I's been doing it, kind of full force as a travel fun and, investigations at the same time. A little bit of both.
You'll see a lot of different things, that's for sure.
Living the best of both worlds.
Yeah, and we do what we call the hippie trips, where we have a mattress for the car. We have an SUV, and we'll sleep in the car and stuff. Rest areas or campgrounds or something. And we'll do hotels and stuff too. But it's just fun, and we get to see so many places like that. It's just really awesome.
Sure.
I love traveling like that.
Tell us how you came up with the name Paranormal Trinity.
Actually, his cousin helped me with it. We were thinking, there's 3 of us, and nobody could think of Trinity, and all of a sudden, and this is a cousin that wasn't even in the group with us. She called one day and she goes, I have a really good idea. She said, I saw a symbol, the Trinity symbol. And we were like, that is it. That is perfect. So, yeah.
There were 3 in the beginning.
Yeah, because it was 3 in the beginning. Yeah. So
that's That's awesome. That is awesome.
We have our granddaughter into it now, and she's 6. She has her own channel also. She loves ghost hunting.
Wow.
No,
Or
so
like
we
the
teach her
dog.
the right way, the safety and all that stuff of it 1st.
Mhm.
Never give her we're at night,
Yeah.
but not yet anyway. Now she gets a little older,
Mm-mm.
but just she has even done the Estes method actually.
Nice.
And
Nice.
I mean, it was amazing. So yeah, she's got the talent for it, and she has the I don't know. It's like she's an empath. She has a lot of feeling with it, so it's really cool
Yeah.
to see it.
She gets a lot of activity, but you gotta, if you're going to be that way, you at least gotta let them know, direct them the right way.
Hmm.
Know what you're actually doing. Don't just,
Sure.
you don't hear
I
nothing.
don't want her like playing with
Yeah.
Ouija boards and things like that, because that's dangerous. You have to know what you're doing, and
Correct.
a lot of kids do that stuff, and then bad things happen. So we always try to teach her the safe way. So that's
That's
fun.
awesome. That's
Mhm.
awesome. Yeah. So what was I gonna say? I'll think about it. Tim, go ahead.
What are you going to say? I have no idea.
I don't
Right.
know, but go ahead.
Again, welcome to our podcast. Glad to have you here. We'd like to get involved with other people and learn about how they ghost hunt or paranormal investigate, however you like to put it. Some people call it paranormal investigators, some call it ghost hunters. So we're all a little bit the same. So you mentioned before the show that you do a lot of home investigation. As far as that goes, you help a lot of people out. I've done a lot in the past too. I've done a lot of home investigations and helped a lot of people, and we have our methods too, working with the demonologists and all. Tell me what. So, is there somewhere that you ran into that uh, was hard to get something out of the home, or
Um, we had
scary?
one lady, well, 2 incidents. Now, the one lady we did here not long ago, that older woman.
Yeah, but we're not real sure.
Yeah, we don't know if it's because she lived in an apartment complex, and I know there was other noises. There was things going on. We were there multiple times, and after we had did all this stuff, we weren't really getting anything more. But I did refer her to somebody else, to make her feel better. Um, and there was like music boxes going off and everything by themselves there. So there was something there at first, and it was really creepy for her because she was alone. But the other place was in Hurricane, West Virginia, and I ended up messaging Jeremy Leonard. You know who that is, that demonologist. He was on 28 Days Haunted or whatever it was on Netflix. I messaged him, and he set me up with this Jennifer in Virginia. And because this house up there, it had this room in their child, or this like door in their child's room, and it was a really creepy little closet, and it had a bunch of foam in there with writing on it nobody could like decipher. And the one night we were there, we blessed the place. We used sage. Well, that's when we learned in the beginning, do not use that, because whatever it was went crazy. 5 o'clock in the morning, she says there's all kinds of noises, and her husband went upstairs. The kids wouldn't go upstairs or nothing. And the daughter's room, she's 2, there was toys in a circle in her room. So we went up the next night and sat in the circle and did an Estes method. And I was, something said, come in the bathroom. And I said, if you're that big and bad, come in here. And I was lifted off my feet and thrown into a baby changing table.
Wow.
My ribs here.
Wow.
So just got involved. She wasn't able to physically come, but we had her on FaceTime and stuff. Lights were flashing and just crazy stuff. We had to go apologize for making this entity mad. And then we finally did a binding ritual. And so far, that's been 2 years, and they've not had any issues.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Yeah.
Because nobody would come and bless the house like a priest. So.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, I haven't ran into anything quite that bad before, but I ran into some entities.
We haven't run into
No,
anything like that.
no,
even close
nothing.
to that.
I mean,
Since,
the woman, the homeowners, the wife, that night that all that happened, she was holding my Bible like this. She was burnt on her arms. Her mouth started swelling up with real red burns in her ear. And the demonologist, Jennifer, she said there was a Sheetz gas station across the street. She said, get her and that Bible out of that house over to that gas station. So
Oh, really?
that was terrifying.
Really?
That
So
sounds
any idea how it got started? Any idea how?
No, they think that somebody lived there before, had done some things up there in that room, but they couldn't prove it. But there was some kind of writing. We have no idea what it was. Never could figure it out.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Wow.
not doing anything remotely close to that.
No,
Never again.
no,
I mean,
that
it's
was
just
bad. That was an
one time.
authentic haunting.
Yeah,
actually.
I mean that's
Wow.
You know,
I
the
hope
other
you don't
stuff
run into
I
that
think
again.
is just nothing bad. We've never had anything that bad.
yeah.
Oh, I got you.
that's
So
amazing.
we got a couple of people that have joined us, and you guys, you do the home investigations and for on your time, doesn't cost anything, and we're the same way. We go there. I've been doing it for a long time. I don't charge anything because we believe that people need help. You need help. I mean,
Yeah,
and how
and
many
they're
people?
they're freaked out enough. They don't need to
Correct.
worry about that.
Correct. And everybody thinks they're crazy, and nobody listens to them. So yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
understand that.
know. I know. They've
Correct.
called crying at 3:00 in the morning. I mean, just so many times.
Correct. That is very true. So you guys, how did you you talked a little bit about how you got started first with the paranormal, then your husband there joined you. So what made you start doing what you're doing? Why did you get involved in the home and any paranormal at all?
Well, actually, I have to attribute that to the Foreman brothers. um, when before we started our stuff, like I said, I've been going just places, just willy nilly. Didn't really know a whole lot of the protection stuff. I brought something very dark home, and to the point to where our grandson has autism, and a door was almost taken off the hinges right in front of him, and scared me to death. And that was the last straw. There were stuff kept flying off shelves and everything, and almost at him. And so I needed backup. So I contacted them. They came down, and there were actually 3 different things here. One was a child, and they got rid of it. So
Okay.
that's them doing that made me feel so good. And I was like, that's really awesome. I want to help people too, because they were a great help to us. They're awesome guys.
The
Okay.
Foreman brothers.
Clients to them when we couldn't do it.
Yep, the Foreman brothers. They are pretty good.
They are the most straight up people I know. They do not pretend. I mean, so there's a lot of people out there you see on YouTube that are just ridiculous when you watch them, and I can't do that. I can't.
Exactly.
If something says demon, I'm not going to scream and run outside.
Correct.
That's like
Kind
seriously.
of like metaphor, right?
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, don't watch YouTube and go ghost hunting. That's never a good idea. So,
No.
Yeah.
no, exactly. So tell me a little bit about what's in the room behind you there. Is that some of the
Oh,
stuff?
This is my Robert the doll. I finally got him from that museum, that Martella Museum down there in Key West. We spent an hour alone with him. Not this summer, a year ago summer. I can't even talk. A year ago, July, I think it was. We were visiting my brother in Cape Coral, Florida, and it's like a 6-hour drive one way down to Key West. So we were like, well, we're going to go see Robert.
Closest we'd ever be.
Yeah. And it's because my brother ended up moving back here. So it's not cheap to go, but they were on the tour for 45 minutes was like 10 people. And we were the only ones that paid to do the VIP afterwards. So we had an hour alone with Robert.
Oh.
And that was a trip because, I mean, that museum, it is so cool, but it's creepy as can be at night. And you're alone. It's like 11 o'clock. And when we were in the tower part walking down, we used like Spirit Talker, Ghost Tube and stuff. And it was saying, sing, kept saying, sing. And I was like, are you going to sing to me, Robert? Well, I have it on TikTok. You can watch it. We were setting up a couple things, and all of a sudden you hear a child humming. This is not, we didn't hear it. It was we were editing. This child was humming and a man joined him. And I had goosebumps so bad when I heard that. Because I said, oh my God, he really did sing to us.
Yeah, who's telling
That
us
was
that we
a
can
trip.
hear it?
Yeah.
So.
That's
Wow.
That was amazing.
Yeah, you guys have probably done the same thing, found stuff after you've been there. It's like you're
Yeah,
listening
when you're
to the
editing
video.
everything,
Yeah.
it's like, oh my
Exactly.
God. You know,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
amazing when you hear. I mean, to me, I almost start crying. It's just so awesome, you know.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I got a little girl humming at me one time, so I understand.
Oh, it is. I mean, I wish I would have heard it right then. I'd have probably been terrified. It would have been so amazing because it was really distinct. But yeah, we have this little house my mom gave me years ago. So that's my, I don't think you see it or not. My little golf house. It lights up all kinds of witchy stuff. I like as a like replica of all kinds of stuff. And I have, I don't think you see it, but I have all kinds of all kinds of scary stuff. I have an Annabelle. They can't see Annabelle, but I have an Annabelle in the same cage as the same thing that, like, see if you can
the
talk.
Warrens. Like the Warrens. Oh, okay.
Right, see her right there.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how old that doll is. It was given to me when I was volunteering for a mission up here where we live, and that was sitting in there, and somebody said, "You got to have this." So that's my Annabelle. I don't know where she came from, but she's very old. But I've got all kinds of relics in here, and just
She's never got
Ouija
out
boards.
yet.
Yeah,
We've been waiting her to get out. She never got out yet.
the cable guy came here a few weeks ago and was kind of creeped out in here. It was funny. But,
Oh, cool. That's cool. You collect stuff in places you've been, so that's
like
Yeah,
the silver
that's
tunnel,
something-
like tunnel 19, we have a piece of it, stuff like that.
well, that's something we really don't do because I'll tell you a little story. I went to a place one time with another group, and a magazine cover, just a magazine cover, floated down out of the ceiling from somewhere.
Oh,
The people I was with took it home with them because they thought it was cool, right? 2 weeks later, they took it back
I
because
bet
their house was a total disaster. They were fighting and screaming. The whole family was mad at each other, and
oh,
they were going through a lot of problems. So they took the magazine cover back to the building where they found it, and their troubles went away.
oh,
Yeah.
that happens. That absolutely happens.
I've
Yeah.
never had that experience.
We've never had anything like that happen, luckily. Knock
I'm
on wood,
glad.
but you never know.
I'm
Yeah.
glad I've never heard of it.
Too.
Yeah. We had to put a doll, that house in Hurricane. They found this creepy doll. We named her Sharon, crawling out. It looked like crawling out of a box that somebody had left there. And the homeowners are like, please get her out of here. Well, I had to put her in black salt until all that was over with.
Good. Gotcha.
Yeah, the demonologist said, get that thing in a container with black salt and holy water on the outside and keep it in there till this is over
Yeah.
with. So I did,
Well,
because we didn't
not
know
saying-
what
yeah.
that was.
not saying people haven't given me stuff. They take it out of my house. That does happen. Right? That's happened.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, Brenda, I took a mirror out of her apartment one time. So Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't. But yeah, it's
Yep. It was a creepy mirror.
yeah, it was.
It is kind of dangerous. You get out when you don't think there's anyone around. I mean, it's the people I worry about the most.
oh, we had a knocking on our car windows while we were driving down the 4-lane, and it sounded like somebody knocked real hard from the back, very back, all the way up to the front, and we were like, "Holy crap!"
Really?
The
As you were
knock-
driving,
As we were
yeah,
moving.
on the 4-lane,
It
it
was like
70.
70 miles an hour. Yeah, it was.
Wow.
It
Yeah.
felt like someone was standing in one spot, we was
Outside.
moving
Yeah,
and hitting.
just walked
as the
up
car
and
went
hit every
by.
window.
It was just
I
I
mean,
mean,
we
just
were creeped out.
straight
I'm
up. We
telling you.
both heard it. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Make
do
you
that
want to
really?
get the holy water out. Make you get the holy water out.
Yeah.
Put it around the car.
And it's always when you're never videoing. You're never videoing.
correct.
Never.
Mm-mm.
There's something here in our house, I think now, because we have a that big stand that has that shelf under it, and we have a basket under there with cords in it.
Coffee
And
table.
yeah, and I went to sweep with the sweeper, and the basket moved like this, and I thought the cat was under there, and I leaned down to holler at the cat, and there was nothing under there. I was
Oh,
like, okay, so I just pushed it back.
Yeah.
It's all those.
Yeah.
It's all those haunted objects you're bringing home.
Something,
It could
yeah,
be.
probably.
And I mean, we'll probably be the example one day of why you don't do
This is
that.
why you don't do it.
But
right?
Yeah.
Been told
Yeah.
we're doing it.
It's probably true.
Yeah.
It helps.
I-
sometimes.
yeah.
Exactly.
We get it out of their house and bring it to ours.
You
There
guys
you go.
need a locked room like Ed Warren had. Like
Exactly,
put everything
yeah.
away,
Yeah.
Yeah,
keep it under lock and key.
that's
Yeah.
exactly. That's what we want. We want a war museum kind
All
of.
fun and
There you go.
games.
Right, till somebody gets hurt.
Yeah, yeah.
It is fun though. We get to go to a lot of places. You get to see a lot of things. You guys know that. The historical stuff you get to see too.
Mhm.
Good.
Not with it. Anybody wants to do it,
That's
it's what
awesome,
you're
yeah.
going to see. You're going to see a lot of history.
Yeah.
Learn
Exactly.
a lot about your state that we didn't really know.
Correct.
A lot
Yeah.
more. So,
Yeah.
there's a
Sure.
little more to it than
Mhm.
everybody thinks.
And it's definitely not cheap ghost hunting either.
Sure.
It is not. It is not.
Oh God. Sorry, but our cat drug a dead bird in here for the kitten. Oh God.
Um,
I was gonna say I thought I heard a cat meowing and it wasn't mine.
Yeah. Oh, gross. Will you go get it?
Yeah, so-
Bringing in nature.
Yes, I love animals. Yeah.
So, what investigations do you guys have coming up?
We on June 6th we're going to Lake Shawnee amusement park for the night. We are going with this boy because we went to the Princeton Railroad Museum a couple times in Princeton, West Virginia. That's a really active place. And the one boy that volunteers there, he has a YouTube channel, Austin the Rail Fan, and he has set up us going there with him overnight and a couple other people on the 6th. And then we're going in July to the old hospital on College Hill. I've been wanting to go there for a long time.
okay.
And
That'd be interesting.
and
Yeah,
then
that one's on my radar for sure.
yeah.
Lake
So-
Shawnee. I mean, they all are, but yeah.
Yeah, what is about it?
I don't know.
It-
I want to go to
I just
Waverly
gotta
Hills.
go.
Yeah, I want to go to Waverly Hills. We've not been there yet. I really want to go there.
Yeah.
We've been to the Fairfield County Infirmary a few times. That's a nice place. That's
Yeah.
very active. Very
Four
active.
times. 4 times.
Oh,
yeah.
really? Yeah.
I went there last year for my first time ever,
That's a big
Yeah.
place, isn't it?
and I
It
almost
is.
ran. I ain't even lying.
Yeah.
I almost ran.
It's very active.
Yeah.
It was.
But, I mean,
Very.
Yeah.
It was. It
Yeah,
was.
we took our grandkids to the Madison Seminary up there, you know.
Yep.
And
Been
now
there
we
too.
didn't. Yeah. Oh, now
Yeah.
we didn't ghost hunt there. It was a big
Trick or
big Halloween trick or treat thing that Adam puts
Gotcha.
on up there. And they won a trophy because they dressed up like twin paranormal because
Yeah.
they watched them on YouTube. It's funny.
treat.
So, oh yeah, but
Yeah.
been
Oh,
out
you would
there. And,
definitely take your SLS there because you'll find a lot. I did with mine. So
well, when we
Yeah.
came home from there, the day after, Emmy, the granddaughter that's the ghost hunter, she had a balloon with, well, about 5 balloons with helium, but she had a red one holding on to it. She goes in the bedroom where we're sitting, and we said something, and I was like, well, balloon, you can go up. I
She said
said,
it wouldn't float.
yeah, it wouldn't float. I said,
Like
well,
the
you
rest
can go
of
up and float and don't touch the ceiling. It goes up and stops. Well, she goes out in the living room, and I said, will you follow Emmy? And that balloon, I swear to
No
God,
kidding.
goes under the door frame, back up, follows her. She stops and goes left. The balloon goes in the kitchen, backs up, goes left, and stops right above her.
Right where she can
And
grab
we're all-
hold of the string.
Not one of us stopped to pick up the camera.
Yeah. It was so
Yeah.
just like
It
This
was
is really
just
happening.
out, it was just out of the
Yeah.
blue. We weren't even
it didn't
expecting.
bother her a bit.
Oh, she thought it was
she
really
goes,
cool.
look.
Yeah,
I was like,
but-
yeah.
So I think something at that time might have floated with us back because
Yeah.
we were in one of his rooms handing out candy for a long time.
Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah, that was. We've had quite a few things happen
Mhm.
here.
Little things, nothing.
You don't
nothing
worry
to,
about it.
nothing
Nothing
to hurt
bad.
anybody. So
Mm.
far.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So-
When you guys go do your home investigations or any investigations for that matter, do you do any protection of any sort?
No,
Not
not
really.
really. When we're by ourselves, only because we want to be contacted. We want things to interact with us as much as possible.
Might not be the right way to think. It's just
Now, when
Or-
we leave, we do our, things, ritual things but
Yeah.
before we go, no, because we want to be all open. I know that sounds crazy, but yeah.
As I say, we do protection before and after, and we still get
Yeah.
lots of activity.
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
I wear this all the time, and it seems to help tremendously. A
Mhm.
black tourmaline. I mean, all the time. I do not take it off, and I believe that it really helps because
Sure enough.
I don't have any issues, and it's
Yeah.
been a long time.
for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
How many residential cases do you have? Do you have lined up, or do you just kind
Right
of
now, we don't have any lined up. It seems like people are more active to do that when it's colder out because they're inside more and they notice stuff more. Summertime, warmer it is, everybody's outside, not paying attention to this stuff happening inside. So right now, it's kind of a lull.
Other than the one we just did.
Yeah, we just
because
did
they
one.
were working in it.
Yeah,
When they start remodeling, you always.
yeah,
Of course, that's one of
Sure.
our first questions. Are you doing any remodeling
yeah.
before we come?
Plus, it was an antique. It was the first two-story house built in Elizabeth, West Virginia, in like 1854. So it's very old. There were two different antique shops in it at one time. So there's a bunch of antiques still in the building there. So yeah, it was really active. But
that's
Okay.
a lot of energy.
yes, it is. It's a beautiful place. It'd be so nice when they get it
Oh,
done.
it is.
But
It is.
yeah, it's big. But
Hey, Lynn, thanks for popping in. I do want to shout out to Tanya and Cactus Moon. Sorry, guys, we did doing a lot of talking, but we saw you. Thanks for joining in. Um, he's already asked you about that.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's okay. I'm trying to think of other things. What else you got, Tim?
Are you drawing a blank today, are you?
I am. It's horrible. I am not like this, you guys.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm telling you. Well, we're getting ready to build a tiny house cabin in our woods here, and we've been working on that and just like down there in the weeds, getting all the brush and stuff, and that's hard work. I love it, but boy, I'm tired. I'm telling you what,
Yeah,
that's hard. I love it though. I can't wait.
you need to build your museum down there with it.
I know. I'm gonna take some
Yeah.
stuff down there. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
It's pretty
So,
neat.
so when you're going to not residential, but you go to locations that are haunted, and everybody does because we like going to the ones that are most common. What have you experienced there that says, nope, I ain't going back?
I don't think I went anywhere. Well, now I tell you what. No, that's not true. We went to Kentucky to this. Was it Greenbrier Lodge, something like that?
It really wasn't a building that you
No, it
talking
was
about, but
no, it was this lodge, but they had this, and it was just a little trail in the woods, like what, less than a mile out
Probably.
through the thing.
but it's desolate
Well,
woods.
yeah,
There's
and we
not-
went there, and normally we always try to find out everything we can about the location. We thought this time, no, we're just going to be surprised. So we go out in the woods, and we get part way, and I got this, like, because I believe in intuition 100%. I was literally ready to cry and throw up. I was so freaked out. I said, we can't go any farther. Something is
Wow.
really super wrong.
And it was black at night too.
Yeah,
There was
and I was
no-
Like, I'm in a
Stars.
panic, and I don't do that. I've never done that. So we stopped where we was. I got my breath. We did an Estes method, and it kept saying Mothman and these little boys' names. When we came home, come to find out, 3 little boys had went missing there several years ago. And when they found them there, they said that they thought Mothman was sighted when they were taken. And it's and it's
We
like,
didn't know
oh
that.
my gosh, that was so weird. But that was the only place I don't ever want to go back.
Oh, okay.
There was something horrible in those woods. I don't know what, but I've never felt that way.
Okay.
Not even in that
I
scary
didn't,
house.
I didn't have any of that
Hurricane.
there, but
Really? Okay. We need to put that on the list, Brenda.
Yeah.
Yeah, gotta go there.
yeah, some of that
Beautiful place.
out
It
in
really
the wood,
is.
out in the woods. There's you don't know what's out
Well,
there.
we've had people come up on us out in
out
the
of the
middle of
blue.
absolutely nowhere saying, I'm a ranger, and they're like tweak out on something.
Or something, you know,
So we try to make sure that we protect ourselves. We have protection.
on that part. But yeah, be careful if you do that.
Yeah.
If you go
Oh,
out.
no problem. We'll protect ourselves here. Yeah.
But yeah, we've had, coyotes corner us, and I mean, it's,
Well, not corner.
Well,
right?
they were in the
They were
weeds ready to
coming.
jump us,
They
and
were on
we
their way.
barely got in the car, and then we're like, crap, the back won't go down. We had to get back out and try to get the back down, and they're right there. And I'm gonna tell you what, I've never moved so fast in my life.
I bet.
That scared the crap out of me.
Yeah, that wasn't a good
So
night.
yeah, we were done.
Yeah, Lynn says, be sure to put that on the most terrifying places
that
Exactly.
for sure.
was
Exactly.
cool.
Jeez, yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah,
You
we
guys-
might not do the smartest things in the world, but we
But
had
it's
fun
fun.
doing it. I mean,
you only live
at
once,
least
right?
everybody's gonna
Sure.
know.
Gotta have
Very
fun.
true.
No regrets.
Be careful, but yeah.
Yeah, you
So
guys
do
have
you-
had some crazy experiences.
yeah.
Just
It's-
So
different.
do you have a favorite place that you've been to that you'd like to go back to?
Actually, a place that nobody really knows a lot. It's around here. It's called Lock 19. And I'm going to tell you what, that is one of the most haunted buildings I've ever been to.
Lock
It's
19.
True story.
Yeah, it was.
It's in Washington, West Virginia. And it's abandoned. It used to be a big,
for the locks and dam.
Yeah.
They opened the locks.
yeah,
up
there.
to
It's,
us.
it's right on the Ohio River.
Oh, okay.
And
Beautiful
it's very
building.
sturdy, but abandoned. Of course, been a lot of people in there ridiculous stuff, but it is highly active. We had a little tiny Raggedy Andy doll about this big, and there's like I said, 3 stories. So in the one stairway, it had a thing sticking up, a little pole. So we set that up there with a cat ball, and we had our apps on, and the ghost tube. I think it was Ghost Tube called me an effing WHORE, and then threw that doll and that cat ball across the floor because I played the song Hallelujah.
Yeah, you always got to be there. It's
It was bad.
a great place to go.
That is the most active place
Mm.
around anywhere. I mean, Sally House wasn't active like that. Nothing was.
It's got easy access. It's nice area right there, and you can. When it start getting real dusk, they don't want you there so much.
But you can
you
be
can
there.
stay up till it's really dark.
There's a
really
cemetery there too. It's really super old. It
I
is
was going to
awesome.
ask, do you need to get permission to
No,
be
Nah,
no, it's open. There's a
you just
river
kind of
access there and stuff.
pretty much respect there. They don't want you there real late, and they don't want you partying. They don't want a bunch of noise.
People used to go there and do
Okay.
rituals and stuff. There's been all kinds of stuff done there.
Yeah, kind of
Okay.
respect it.
Mhm.
They'll kind of let you go.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. TNT bunkers was pretty cool too, like the Mothman stuff up
Mm.
there. Those are creepy at night because there's
Yeah.
nothing but like this
The big
water,
swamp.
nasty,
It's like
swampy water, and then the bunkers in the woods. It's not very
Oh,
far, place. It's
Yeah.
creepy.
That's-
those are neat. Those are
Yeah.
neat. We did hear a noise out there in the woods. We don't
Some kind of
couldn't
scream.
explain the
Yeah,
sound.
we're not sure what it was.
But
Okay.
Different. It was, thank God, on the other side of the water. If it had been closer, we'd been
I
running.
mean, I'm sure it was some kind of animal.
It
We
was
just don't know what it
weird.
was.
Yeah. So, but
I've been to Point Pleasant. I've been to the Mothman Museum and got my picture taken with the statue.
Oh,
because
yeah.
I think the Mothman story is really, really cool. I really do. I think it's really something fascinating. So
yeah.
we may have to go to West Virginia and snoop around out there and see if we can't find the Mothman, I guess, because
Oh,
Yeah,
heck yeah.
yeah, we
I'd go
Bigfoot
for it.
and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, that kind of stuff. I even asked one time. We were at an investigation, and Bigfoot come up for some reason, and I said something about supernatural or human or something,
Superhuman.
and it came up as supernatural.
Yeah, that's what
They
Bigfoot
actually
was.
said. He's supernatural. It's like,
Mhm.
that explain why the disappearance.
He's everywhere.
You don't
Yeah,
see
yeah.
him, you know.
Yeah,
Maybe just-
we went to Hocking Hills and stayed in a cabin a few weeks ago in the middle of nowhere, and we got literally no noise in the woods. There were no birds,
It's the
no
weirdest thing.
nothing for 2 days.
Yeah.
Nothing.
You ever been a place like that? Like in a where there's trees? and-
Nothing. I
Yep.
mean, literally no birds. You heard a crow way away that one day. Call. That was it. And I was like, there has to be something here. We heard nothing, saw nothing, had not or night
Right.
vision, little things on, did nothing.
Gotcha.
I don't understand it, but
Wow.
that's the weirdest thing.
Well, we
There
were,
are full of trees or full of birds, singing in the trees.
we were at McPike Mansion here a couple weeks ago in Alton, Illinois, and we were in the woods and it was quiet. We had a couple of deer. We found a couple of deer roaming around that startled a couple of our team members. But other than that, there wasn't any bird noises, no bugs, no nothing. So yeah,
That's
Isn't that
weird.
odd? I
They
mean,
say
it
that there's
seems
something, different there if you don't hear any noises because they know to leave.
correct.
But we didn't. We stayed. There was nothing there. I don't know what caused it, but yeah, that was
Yeah.
different.
We saw the birds during the day, but at night it was pitch. I mean, there wasn't even a cricket going off out there.
No, not at all. We
Yeah.
was waiting for squirrels or chipmunks or something.
Just run across the
Yeah.
ground or something.
Nothing. We went on the Appalachian Trail a little bit too, and that had more animals
Yeah.
than that other place did. So I don't know. Yeah,
Be careful on that Appalachian Trail. You'll find some hillbillies out there at night. with
I
shotguns.
know. I told
Oh,
him we hear
I know.
banjos, take off running. We had to walk across this great big clearing. I said, we was out there so long, anything could have come at us and they'd have got us. There's no
Yeah.
way to run fast enough.
No,
But
but
we was okay,
hope
yeah.
not.
It got dark when we was out there. We had to walk back in the dark. So that was kind of creepy.
I bet it was.
I'm out in the Appalachian Trail at night. What is wrong with me? Let's get out of here.
Walked a lot faster back than we did.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, I'm sure you guys did.
That car was
Yeah.
a long way away.
Yeah, it really was.
It was fun though.
I hear a lot about the woods out there in the Appalachians.
Yeah, they were. I read books on that stuff all the time, and then we go out there. It was like,
Yeah.
okay.
You
Where
hear?
you got,
Oh,
you
that
got
happens.
the,
It definitely happens.
you got
I
the
used to
grass,
live up
you got
in
the
the
grass
garage.
man. Yeah, grass man, midnight howler. They're all out there. So
Them runners, they called them in the mountains because I lived in Seneca Rocks and worked there at Yoakum's Vacation Land years ago. And yeah, they come out of the mountains about once a month. But you don't go up there.
I got you.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right. I've done nothing.
I'm
but
looking-
talk.
Have a question?
I'm looking at questions. Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. You got one? Go ahead.
I know you guys were talking about before we got started that you did like a 13-day trip, going out and hitting these other areas, these other states and stuff. Do you pick like different directions to do those kind of trips and figure out what it is, or was there certain thing? I mean, you went to Roswell, so everybody knows why you went to Roswell, but how do you go about planning your trips and stops and
Honestly,
cities
it's
that
probably,
Well, we
why?
just figure out where we want to go. Like, where do we want to go see? Where have we not been or whatever? Okay, then let's check out what paranormal hotspots are out there, and we'll just, then we make a little thing. Because when we left, we went down because my brother used to be a truck driver. He said, "Well, take the 2-lane road after you get, to Missouri, and go down that way." So we did, which was awesome because you got to see all the really neat. It was crazy going from dry, crappy ground with dust to great big trees in Colorado. It was just crazy, but
a lot of our stuff's just spontaneous. We had an idea where we were going. We knew where we were going, but we'll stop anywhere.
if we see something really interesting, and we have time, we'll detour and do that too. But yeah, we ended up staying 2 nights in Vegas, so we went there because it was fun.
Yeah, so we had to detour a little bit there.
Yeah, we did a
We had to
detour
stay
on
another
that one.
night. So
Vegas is a fun time.
It was fun.
that whole trip, all we really had planned was when we got to Roswell and when we got to Sally House. And the only times we had 2 times we had to meet.
Yeah,
everything in between.
Yeah, everything. It was
We
already
knew where
set.
we were going, but we didn't care when we got there and how long we were there.
Yeah, we didn't have like a certain spot in the
Yeah.
state. And we did want to go through Denver to go, like I said, to Cheeseman Park because, the Poltergeist movie and stuff. And it was a really beautiful place. But it was tiring though. By the time we left Denver, we got almost to Sally House and had to stay in a hotel the night before we stayed there. And it was fun though.
Yeah, it's fun when you don't have that time. You just kind of, you know what you want to do, but you don't have to do it all by a certain this minute, that minute. You got to be here. You got to be there.
Yeah, we
Let-
just had
let it
certain
go and then
places.
Things seem to work.
Yeah.
We have all this time, but we have to be here then.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
Sure.
But yeah, it makes it more fun, when
And when
kind
you're
of-
more relaxed, it feels like your ghost hunt, your activity, whatever, everything goes better.
it does.
And we'll walk into places, looks like we've been there forever. Like you know everything about the place.
Well,
Well,
Sally House was on my
yeah.
bucket list, like number one forever, and
Mhm.
I was so excited when I got there. It's like a kid waking up at Christmas, It was like, oh my God. And
Yeah.
I don't know whether that made it, even a better experience or whatever, but it was just so awesome being there and so worth it. But I was so hyped up and was up, we had it from like 3 p.m. till 9 a.m. and it was so hyped up that by the time we left, I was literally done in the
Slept
car,
all the
slept
way.
13 hours.
Already over?
all the way.
I mean, because we were in like 64 hours in the car total from the time we left.
Wow.
We went down and then
13 days.
came back the other way. And
Wow.
oh my gosh, I got to tell you this one thing real quick. We were in New Mexico before we got to Roswell on this 2-lane road in the middle of nowhere. And there was like these old little gas stations, and most of them were just real dilapidated and abandoned.
We thought.
So we pull into this one, and I'm videoing, and I go up about 6 feet from the window, and it looks really awful. And I look inside, and there's a light bulb hanging from the ceiling, and these men standing in a circle. I'm like, go to the car, get the car, get the car. We're running back to the car and took off.
Good see their
Thank
vehicles
God
and
they
nothing
did not
around.
see us.
These guys were
I don't know what they were doing, but I have an idea. And oh
Yeah.
my gosh, that was terrifying. I was like, I
Yeah.
cannot be so music anymore. I
Yeah.
was just going on there videoing everybody.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, see what happens when you put Bev in the car.
Oh,
I
yeah.
know. It just doesn't
You put Bev anywhere. See what happens.
Lynn has a question. Has there been a situation where you found yourself at a location totally by surprise, like you were drawn to it, but never heard of it before?
I don't know that I have. Not really.
I don't know.
Not like just the wants. I mean, is it
I
the want to go
yeah.
to some of the like Sally House thing, but not really drawn. Not me.
The only thing, that house in Hurricane, I had a dream before I went that it was a 2-story white house, and it was. That's the only thing, of anything before, of any feelings or wanting. And I really wanted to go to this. I mean, I ended up being friends with the homeowners. They're really nice people. But that's the only, I don't know. That's the only thing like that. But as far as being drawn to a place, I guess
Not
Sally
really.
House maybe, because I was just, I don't know what it was about the place. I watched all these videos on it and, everything about it. And for some reason, I don't know why, it just felt like I had to go.
Gotcha.
I don't
guess
know.
that'd be a draw.
And when I was there, I was literally, I asked Kim, I was like, thank God nobody can see me. I was just an idiot because I was crying. I went in here, oh my God, I'm so happy I'm here. I mean, it was ridiculous. But it was, I don't know, I guess maybe it was just, I didn't think I'd ever get to go there for whatever reason. And then when we just all of a sudden worked out in a crazy way. And
Sure.
I mean, because they weren't even letting people do any kind of visits at the time. So I was like, well, we'll have to we were going to go to Farrar School. And then I thought, I'm going to look one more time. And everything just went into place perfect. So I thought, well, that was meant to be. But yeah. I was in tears at that place. I have to admit, embarrassingly. But
It's like that though. When you have a location that's on your radar, that's where you really, really, really want to go, and then when
You're
you get
number
there,
one.
you're like, oh,
And you're
I
going,
get it.
"Oh."
I know. It's like, oh, we're really
It's emotional. It
doing
really
this.
is.
Yeah.
Yes, it's emotional. And it was awesome. I mean, I have to say, I would love to go back just to be there.
She's wanting to know if you ever understood the connection that you had with that house that you had the dream about, that it was two-story.
I don't know what it is, because the homeowner, her and I, during the entire investigation, everything that happened at her house happened at mine. To the point to where one night her husband started saying all kinds of crazy stuff. He did the same thing like 4 hours later.
Well,
I'd be talking to her, stuff would fall off her shelf, doors would close at my house while we were on the phone. We both would find wheat pennies all the time on our floors when we were talking on the phone. And we used to joke about being, sisters from another mother or something, and I don't know what it was, but it's like something. And when I talked to that Jennifer about it, she said that will happen sometimes. There's just something about her and I, that lady and I, that just melded.
Kind of went together in the universe.
For some reason. We don't know.
That
Yeah.
connection.
And I still keep in touch with her too. So
and those are the kind of things we try to figure out, but sometimes you just can't.
it was every time. It was so weird. I mean, we had a hard time. We all had a hard time with that.
sure.
So I don't really want to have any more of them. It was hard to get out of that one.
You always think they're movies. You always say, "Oh, no, that only happens in
Yeah.
TV shows." Yeah, it don't happen very often. But
When you
it
see it
does
with your
happen.
own eyes,
Yeah.
and you see lights flashing when someone's speaking and all these things happening.
Yeah, and that's not typical. I don't happen all the time. So that's
it can be scary.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I think that is one of the things. Like, you do see so much in movies, how Hollywood has it all up, with all of this stuff that happens, like the lights flicker and stuff like that. But then I haven't really experienced a lot of the Hollywood stuff, but I can just imagine when it actually does happen, you're like, oh crap. Like,
I mean,
it does happen to an extent. Like, it's not
like the Hollywood thing.
no,
where it's all
you don't
flat,
run
but
out and
it's
start
just-
screaming or
it's just
nothing.
those
But
little things like something will flash or something will.
everybody's
turn
sitting
on.
there just watching it, like, you kind of leery of what's going to happen next. Are they going to
Yeah.
blow real
Right.
hard or something? Because you don't know.
We was sitting one time. Was that light on? Did anybody turn that light on?
Yeah.
Was that light? It's like something like that.
This would flash. It would flash when that demonologist, when she would talk, that thing would flash real hard, and I mean everybody was just kind of not freaking out, but just like, holy crap, it's behind us. What's it going to do?
Hmm.
That was the only time I've really actually been scared ghost hunting. Usually I don't have that, like a fear. We're really scared.
More the curious. We try to find out something about the area, the home, or why they're there, or something like that is more. And then the fear don't come unless they do. We got to see something. Something's got to happen.
Something big.
You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I don't know. You get uneasy now. I don't know if we could call that
Yeah.
fear, but I guess so.
Yeah, you get uneasy
Little.
sometimes. You think, okay, am I imagining that, or did that happen?
Yeah.
Because you don't want to think first thing is always paranormal, because a lot of times
Correct.
it's not. But there's things that happen you just can't explain.
I literally have to tell you that we've been talking this entire time, and I just now realized that you have a clown in your corner.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
this
I know.
thing.
Yeah.
It just came into
Really?
focus. Like, it was like, I am here, and I'm like,
It does all the movement and talking,
Yeah.
and I did
Yeah.
this
The
all.
holes in the.
We had it hanging right by our front door when we first got it, because it was at Halloween
Yeah.
a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And you can turn it on motion. Well, I didn't know it was on motion. I thought he turned it off. So I go up there and I hung my jacket up and I like touched its face. I go, "You sure are ugly." And that thing started moving and I about had a heart attack. I was like,
Yeah.
holy crap. But
I
yeah,
don't know,
it looks like it's standing up. I have a pair of work boots where its feet are. So it looks like it's standing up in the corner.
yeah,
It's
it-
hanging
it
the fishing line.
literally all of a sudden was like, I'm here. Notice me.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Those
saw-
dolls right there I've gotten from antique shops, so I don't know how old they are.
So see how things happen, y'all? It's weird, really weird.
Mhm.
Jennifer
Yeah.
says she freaked out a little bit at Beale when a ball rolled at her. You
Yeah.
know, I different things. I don't know. Like I had a doll thrown at me. I have yet to see a ball.
Actually,
You know,
roll.
like I think it would be cool. Like
Oh, it would be.
it,
Yeah.
it would freak you out a little bit because something's coming at you, or you know.
Right.
But yeah, like yeah, that would be cool. But yeah,
Oh,
so
yeah.
you're a creepy clown.
Yeah, the most I've really like seen with my eyes have been like dark figures. See a lot of those in certain areas, and
Mhm.
it's almost like, well, one night I swore there was a guy on the road just standing there waiting for somebody to pick him up. Drive by and there's in the mirror there was nobody there. It was kind of dark and a little bit rainy, like dusk and a little bit drizzly or rainy.
Mhm.
I just blamed it on, must have just been reflections.
The mailbox or
But
something.
it's pretty distinct figure, you know.
Mhm.
And
I'm tired. I didn't see what I thought I saw. Lynn wants to know if you've ever come back home with attachments and not the vacuum cleaner type.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
you
that one
have
time from that Lock 19, the guy's name was Thomas.
Yeah.
Tom, and he would keep saying, "I'm going to kill you," and he hated women, and he would call me everything. When the brothers came, Josh was in here with me, and he had his recorder on, and it started saying stuff and called me really bad names, and he's like, don't talk to her like that. But it would call me horrible names. When you do Estes method, the most awful stuff would come out, and
We think he's gone now.
yeah,
Very much
but
very
I
much
guess
told him.
they said the woman, there was a woman here protecting a child from this guy, said he was a snake, and I don't know what he did, but he hated women, and he was hard to get out, but they got him. I believe, because I've never had
Yeah, we've not had it.
because I mean stuff was, the candles, little candle warmers you plug in, and they're pretty heavy. And I had one fly off on the floor and make a big old mess and everything. Great big glass thing of seashells came off when my grandson and I walked around the corner. They were on the fireplace. It went right between us and literally shattered in the air before it hit the floor.
Yeah, I seen that.
Yeah.
I actually seen that.
And
It looked like that glass
mhm,
broke into pieces before it, like that far before.
little
but
tiny
it
pieces
sure looked like it
and shells
broke.
and glass
Wow.
everywhere.
I mean, I couldn't prove that. Would never expect anyone to believe that. But that's what it looked like to me.
And I heard one disembodied voice, like whatever, with my ears. And this is when all that, right before I called
That was
them,
here. Yeah.
I had all the lights off. We was doing the bedroom, so we had a air mattress in the living room, and he was asleep, and it had everything off except I had two phones facing each other, and I was in the dark, and I had two different apps on, and I had my video camera in the living room at the back of it. And I'm standing there with my back to that camera, and I'm, kind of angry, saying, "You need to tell me who's doing this to my grandson." And all of a sudden, this voice sounded like a Charlie Brown stuff. It was like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa," a big sentence. And I literally started screaming. I was like, "Mike, Mike," and I screamed at him, got
Scared
him
me to
up,
death, woke me up.
and
but-
flipped the light on. And I said, "Did you say something?" He said, "No." I said, "We got one hell of a problem." And I mean, it scared the life out of me.
Wow.
But it was loud, and I don't know what it said. I've tried to decipher it, but I can't get it. But it sounded like Charlie Brown, that how they sound.
Mhm.
That was awful. It was in here. So, yeah.
Yeah. Lynn said, "How did you clear that?" And what they did was they called in the Foreman brothers.
Right.
Yeah. We
We
had
come in
that,
and do it.
that one. That was in the beginning, and it was a bad
That's
one.
when she didn't really know what she was doing.
Yeah.
I never do. So we're pretty good shape that way.
That's funny.
So it's
Oh,
why
that's
some of my
funny.
questions are so dumb when I ask them.
Oh,
But-
there's never a dumb question in ghost hunting, is there?
No. And those are actually some pretty good questions that have come
Right.
in. That's awesome.
Oh, I
Um,
know. Yeah, because I mean, like you learn every day because nobody knows who you're talking to.
Yeah.
You know, they're telling you Aunt Millie or some little kid. The other day, I did a session and with the spirit talker, and of course, I use cat balls a lot, and cat balls lighten up. And I said, "Who's here?" And it said, "Oh, Gary." And I said, "Well, Gary," I said, "How old are you?" I said, because it said a boy, and I said, "How old are you?" He said, 8. It was answering just like I'm talking to it. I was like, "Okay, but I really don't think you're 8 years old." He said something else and then wouldn't say anything else. So yeah, I don't believe there's child spirits. Honestly, I don't.
Okay.
I guess thing that pretended.
I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, but I just think things like to pretend they're,
It's an
people
easy way to get
know
to you.
or whatever. So you put your guard down and invite them or whatever.
Right.
So that's what we try to teach our granddaughter, really careful, because she was seeing things out the window at that time. And the foreman's asked if she was like an empath or something, and I said she may be because I am to a certain extent. So,
But you
yeah.
don't know. But yeah,
Yeah.
all that's been gone.
And they had pictures of it, which I posted too. A spaceship right above our house. Rocky caught it on film.
They actually seen it
With his
naked eye.
eyes
They
when they were
chasing
here.
around our yard, like running around trying to get more pictures.
Sean's
of
right. He
stuff.
said
But
it
it's
disappeared
neat looking.
behind a cloud. But yeah, when they were here,
The pictures look pretty good.
because we broke the drone because after that happened, Rocky put the drone on top of the house and went to go up, and we're out there watching it, and it stopped about 30 feet up, and he's looking at the thing on his, the big thing he's looking at, and all of a sudden he's like, "Oh my God!" And it just starts free falling, bounced on our house, and parts flying everywhere and bounced on the ground, and it was done. So yeah,
And that could have been just
but
that was weird.
Yeah.
It was weird. But they did good. Everything was gone when they left. So.
yeah, we haven't had any issues like that since. Not like that. Little things pass through here and there, but nothing bad.
She said, glad you had some help or someone to help. She's seen spirits present themselves as children, not maliciously, but they're sharing something from their childhood.
I mean, that's possible. Anything's possible,
Mhm.
Right.
So
We're just skeptical when they first tell us that they're a child. It's just odd to do that in the beginning. It's like, wait a minute, what are you trying to get to? You just kind of gotta want to find
And
out.
it seems like after you start, no, you're not. Then then you get them to start. Then they start saying stuff that's not very childlike.
I was gonna say, I think it depends on history of the location.
Yeah.
Like if a child died at an early age, they, that's possible that they might be there.
I mean, there could be, yes.
But also the more nastier things will do that. They'll perceive to be whatever
Yeah.
to like reel you in, and then
Then it's too late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems there'll be a lot of that. A lot of pretending when it comes to that. So. I guess we're just real cautious when we hear them say a child. Just gotta kind of confirm it in our own mind that that's what it is. So. But
there was a location we did last year, which there was a little 4-year-old, 6-year-old, I don't remember, 4 or 6, but she had gotten too close to the stove or whatever, and her dress caught on fire and she burned. And she is said to still reside at this location, and numerous people have heard her humming. I actually have an EVP from there that's a little girl voice. So, like I said, I think it depends on what the scenario is. But when you're doing that and you're talking about it and you go, well, I don't think you are, or, you ask, like, let's ask a question that isn't an 8-year-old question to see what, and then you start getting that other interaction. And then you can decipher, you know what? No, that isn't. That isn't a child. It's something that is something else. But nonetheless, it's kind of creepy. We had went to Villisca, and we had interactions coming back everything was pointing to it being a couple of the children
Yeah.
speaking to us. We were like, do you want to, like, if we brought you a horse, would you like to go horseback riding? And it was
Mhm.
like, yeah. And we're like,
Sure.
who do you want to bring? And I think it said like mom. And,
Correct.
so I mean, they
Yeah.
Oh,
were
that's
like
amazing.
legitimate claims. But
Mhm.
again, it really depends on that. Not
Correct.
that nastier things can't take those and still try to twist it and
Mhm.
Exactly.
perceive as being something else. But
Exactly.
I think it just a lot of it depends on the type of questions that you ask, and because sometimes I think when you're talking, if that nastier energy is getting fed up with it, they'll start changing like you'll keep asking, but they'll start changing it because they're like,
Yeah.
no, like I reeled
Mhm.
you in as much as I'm going to reel you in, and
Yeah, they're done. They can't. They can't
Mhm.
get you.
yeah,
They get you convinced.
Correct.
right. So
Mhm.
whatever experience Lynn had, she said it's bothered her. So I think everybody is like that.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, some places I'll go in and I just want to just start crying. It's just so sad in there. And I mean, the emotional part of it. And I won't have any idea, it's just, but I just feel I know it's somebody else's emotions, but I will bawl sometimes and I can't stop it.
yeah,
And so
yeah.
those places
Being
are hard to go in.
being an empath has those effects on you, and you don't even have to know people or anything like that. It's just
No,
picking up on all that energy. Yep, I'm there. I
yes.
feel you. I'm there.
I was
Mm.
so embarrassed. We went, remember Rhonda's house? We did this people in Clove, about 20 minutes from us in Parkersburg. And this woman, her partner, when she come in, uh, I was standing there talking to her and I busted out crying right in her face. I said, I am so sorry. Well, she started crying and was telling me how she was feeling and stuff. And I literally bawled with her because I could feel how she was feeling. I mean, everybody's kind of standing there,
Mhm.
your family looking at us like, what the crap is wrong with you two?
Just
But
met
it
each
was
other.
instant. I mean, it just, and so strong, you couldn't stop it. I could not stop it for anything. And it's hard sometimes because it's embarrassing. You go
Mhm.
in places and you're blubbering like a fool, and it's like, oh my God, but
Oh
you can't
yeah,
help
because a lot of times you don't know those people, and you're just crying, and they're like, "Why are you crying?" And you're like, "I don't know why I'm crying."
I don't
Because
know. I'm happy to meet you.
yeah,
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 it's awful.
I,
I mean,
I
and I told him, I said, it's so weird because it's not your feelings, but you're feeling it. It's so hard to explain, but it's so weird. And I can't control it when it does it very bad. I went into, I went into a crystal shop. Okay. First time I was ever in there here. And I went in, and I've never, been in this one. And my daughter was telling me, so I go in there and I was so overwhelmed, I think, by the energy in there. I literally started crying. And the woman in there, she started laughing and crying with me. And her daughter was kept staring at us. She said, I totally understand. I could not shop for anything. I had to leave. I had to leave. So I haven't been back yet. I want to go back. I don't know
yeah.
what made me do that, but it was so
Mhm.
overwhelming. It was just almost breathtaking. So I don't know what happened
No,
there.
the crystals hold energy.
Yeah, there was
Could
a
have been
lot of
just
energy in there.
I'm going to come back to Jennifer's question in a minute. Um, but Lynn said, sitting here shaking, and we can't see her do it. I don't know what you're going through at the moment, but I hope it's better. Maybe she feels your guys like all of our energies,
Maybe you
and then
do
when you go
process it, maybe.
through
You
that,
do.
you do have to process it because, yeah, yeah, you do have to process it for sure.
Well, that location, the Lock 19, um, before that attachment came, when I was there, our son had to help me walk out. I just, all of a sudden, there was a woman, I'll say graped there. Uh, Her name was Rose. Sorry. every time I talk about it, I literally get so emotional. I was crying so hard from what this woman felt. I had to be carried out of there.
Hmm.
And every time I talk about it, I get those same emotions.
Hmm.
Exactly. And it's been like 3 years.
Mm.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, we've been back though, but it's when that happened was 3 years.
It got a hold of you.
Bad. Really bad. And it still does. And I don't know why. So,
She's feeling the energy. All right. Jennifer wants to know if you go to Blennerhassett Island overnight. Did you
I
go?
did not. We were going to. His mom wanted to go too. But we weren't able to. Things had come up and we weren't able to do it. But we want to do it
Yeah.
really bad.
Yeah, well, I've been on the island several
Yeah.
times.
Oh,
We've been
yeah.
over there just, younger, most of the night, just swimming and, eating on the island and stuff.
But yeah,
Never did do that.
we were
It would
going
be
to.
fun.
We actually had talked about it, but like I said, stuff came up and we couldn't. But it'd be fun. It'd be really fun.
I'm gonna have to look it up because I don't know anything about it.
There used to be a mansion there.
Well, there is a mansion there.
Well,
They used to
it's
live there.
restored,
Yeah,
but-
it's restored there now.
Yep.
But
Pretty neat island.
Lynn said, "Sorry, that's difficult." Are you doing better, Bev?
I am now. Yes, that's awful. It's just every single time I talk about that, it's just the same feeling. It never gets easier, and I don't know.
Yeah.
Phew. That
Usually
poor
goes.
woman, I feel for her. I really do. And I hope she has peace. But
She said she was just wondering if you guys had crossed paths.
I don't know.
She's actually out there in, I think, Lancaster.
Oh, okay. That's where the infirmary is.
Yep.
That's like an hour, about that hour from us, something like that.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Close.
So, all right, Tim.
Yes.
That
That was good.
made
Yeah.
me sweat, girl. That.
I don't know if I really have any more questions. You guys have been really informative about your life and your paranormal, what you do, and so forth. And I think it's fascinating. I do want to comment that you do home residential. I think that's really a cool thing. I've said I've done a lot in the past too. Helping people out is a great thing. I just wish they would call us before it was so desperate that they're moving out of the house. I mean, that
Yeah,
would
I
be
know.
cool to do. This Lock 19, I got to thinking about it. I think I've seen something on the History Channel about Lock 19 and being haunted. So I think I got an idea of what you're talking about now on the Ohio River.
Oh, it's creepy looking when you pull up. You're
Yeah.
like, holy cow! I mean, there's been times we pull up at night and it's been like, wow, I don't know if I can walk in here or not. I mean,
Yeah.
it's creepy, but it's really cool though.
Gotcha.
It really is.
And also, I don't have the abilities that the rest of the team that my team has. I don't have those. I try. I got some. I had a bad experience happen to me several years ago, and it changed my being able to sense something where it's at. So that's a big, huge difference now. I got more open than I was usually used to be because I was a skeptic when it started. As far as that
Oh, yeah.
goes, I do want to comment on something that Jennifer put out her. She said she got startled when a ball rolled at her at Beale Manor. If you get a chance to go to Beale Manor, I suggest you go there.
Definitely on our list. Yes.
We weren't in that building 10 minutes and we heard people running upstairs.
Oh,
I mean,
wow. That's awesome.
not 10 minutes. And then you get to sleep there. I was trying to sleep and people walking up and down the stairs. I finally got up and told them, hey, I'm trying to go to bed. You need to stop. That should
That's funny.
It's a great place to investigate. It really is. I think what you guys do is fascinating. Collecting the stuff that you got in your house, my better half's not going to let me do that because that's not going to happen. But Brenda and I have talked about trying to do something like that. We got some things coming up in the future, and we talked about maybe getting some items to show people or try to prove the paranormal. Because I would have a doll in a cage if I could have one in my room.
Yeah. His
So-
dad says he goes, oh, there's no way I could sleep in there.
That's
It's
cool.
funny.
I think what you guys do is fascinating. I want to come out to West Virginia and go with you guys. I think it'd be an awesome
That'd be
It
fun.
would be fun.
experience to go through. It's good to do. So go to some of the places that you can show us where you've been, and then I think I'd enjoy doing that a lot. So I
That'd be
appreciate
fun.
you guys being with us. That's really cool. You
Thank you.
seem like two
What-
really good people. So
What part of Ohio are you guys in?
Southeast. We're on the
Yeah.
border. We live about 20 minutes from Marietta. We're on the border of Parkersburg, West Virginia, and
Okay.
Ohio. Yeah,
Yeah.
Marietta's pretty historical. Lafayette and all
Gotcha.
that.
They have a good
Yeah.
over there too.
Yeah,
The
through the
town,
city.
the cities. Got a
Yeah,
lot.
there's a lot down in that corner.
Well, the Anchorage is there. We've been there.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's
So
pretty. It's a big
that's-
bill, nice.
Yeah,
big
that's a neat
building.
place to go. Our granddaughter went there at nighttime with us, and she was up there in the attic with all the stuff, cat balls going off,
Bats
and having
flying
a bats
around.
flying
There's
around.
actually
Yeah, and
bats
she
go-
thought it was fun.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was
It was.
freaking out.
It was
There was
control.
bats.
It was control with her. There was a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
gotta love the bats.
No,
Every
I don't do
keep in
that.
location.
No, no.
There's either a bat or a creeper.
Yeah.
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 Well, I was bitten by a black widow spider at that Lock 19, so just don't sit down anywhere. I was
Oh,
sick for
yeah.
2 weeks of that.
I have to
I was
remember that.
awful.
So
It bit me right
we
in
have
the
friends. Yeah.
I didn't know it.
Wow.
Yeah.
We have friends that live in Columbus, so we know.
Oh,
where
yeah.
that is.
We're
Yeah.
up there a lot. Yeah.
Yep.
Go everywhere.
Jennifer did say she is in Lancaster, and your guys are not too far from her.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
far at all. Heck, that's a close drive. A friend of ours lives up there in Pleasantville, real close to Lancaster.
Yeah.
So that's
Actually,
awesome.
getting ready to take my kitten, right?
Yeah, we got kittens, so we're going to take her one. We actually, she's a friend of ours now. I mean, a lot of the people that we have investigated their homes, we still keep in contact with them.
Yeah, a lot
I think
of
a lot of them. Yeah, it's nice. Nice people.
That's
You meet
good.
a lot of good people. You meet some
Um,
kind of out there, but for the most part, they're really great people.
I think sometimes that's needed though. So then, if anything ever happens again, they know they have that connection and they know they can reach out.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah, we
Instead of
always
having to find somebody new to
Yes.
explain all of this all over again.
I know. Yeah, we always tell them if you need us at all, let us know. Yeah, always.
That's awesome.
Yep.
If you had one piece of advice to give to new people just starting out paranormal investigating or ghost hunting, what would you tell them?
First of all, not everything is a demon. Please do not say that because it's not. You know,
I'd say my first thing would be protect yourself
Yeah,
against
yeah.
other people.
protect yourself. Yeah, against people. But I mean,
But,
don't do what we do. Protect yourself before you go and when you get done doing investigations. You know, however you want to protect yourself. You know, like I said, we choose to do it our way, but it's best to not do it that way.
yeah.
You know, just go in with an open mind. You know, everything is a learning experience. Every day I learn something about this, you know, and you're always wrong about something. Hey, I thought it was this way. Well, no, it's, you know, whatever. It's just a learning experience every day, and it can be dangerous. You got to be careful. Very careful.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because you know what we're running into. Not like a police officer, you see your suspects. We don't see ours.
what platforms are you on? Social.
We are on TikTok, Facebook,
We got a YouTube channel.
YouTube. Yes, YouTube,
Yeah, we did
TikTok,
on
and
YouTube.
Facebook.
Okay.
Is what we're on now. Yeah. Paranormal Trinity on all of them. So always find
Yeah.
us.
It's fun. I mean,
Lynn was saying that's about the same that she does too. So,
Mhm.
any last things that you guys want to share?
Well, I don't know. I guess we'll let everybody know when we get our little cabin in the woods built. It's gonna be one of them scary cabin in the woods.
Awesome.
yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be available for renting. People can do their own.
Yeah, if it's real active, yeah, real active, we just might.
Down there a lot, seeing and There's some activity around the property.
There is.
There's a lot of history to this property.
Yeah,
too,
we were
found
told
out.
that settlers were here, and when they buried people, because we keep getting bodies buried below, when they bury people back in the 1800s, if they were not near a church or a cemetery, they buried them in their yards.
Mhm.
So,
We're not really sure.
because we found an old bridge that had been like a really old wooden bridge that somebody tried to concrete just here the other day that we didn't know was down, So it's really old here. Yeah, really old land. So it's hard to tell what kind of creepies are out here.
We'll dig a little bit on it, maybe disrupt them a little bit.
Yeah.
I think you
Maybe.
just shocked Cactus.
Like, yeah. I was pretty haunted. It definitely is.
We want to do the Trumpet Mound this. I
Yeah,
forgot about
Serpent
that.
Mountain
We'll
is
get
kind of a
there
cool
this year.
place we want to go.
Last year the tower was closed, so we want to go. We get up in the tower and see it from above.
It's really neat because we have that mound cemetery here in Marietta.
That's in Marietta.
It's really neat. We've done stuff up there, and it's really active too on top of that mound.
Okay.
So pretty cool though.
Jen says, especially in these here hills.
Yeah.
I know.
Mhm.
Yep. We've had bears around here before. I've not seen any, but we've had them about 5 miles away. So hopefully
Okay.
that's not an encounter. I don't do that. I
Right?
get fast.
All right, perfect. It's been awesome. We like to let guests know we're gonna circle back in about 6 months, have you guys back on again, get
Okay.
some
Great.
updates on what's happened in the last 6-7 months.
Mhm.
So we look forward to having you guys on again.
Well, we look forward to it. This was fun.
Yeah, it's a great
Good
time.
to meet you guys.
We'll have something new
Yeah,
to,
something exciting.
that we found. You never know.
They're gonna have more stuff on that back wall for us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Have to randomly jump out at you when you least expect it.
I'm curious to know what they're going to
We have a
find next.
lizard right there.
Yeah.
But anyway, our son just came in. Come here and say hi real quick.
Oh yeah.
Leave your hat on. Yeah, this is our son right here. He works security at the hospital.
Hello.
How you doing?
Hello. He's big, but he
He
still
just
gets
got home
scared.
from work. Yeah,
Hey,
either way.
you know,
family thing. It's fun.
I think you can be 8 feet tall and seem like you're bulletproof, but when that one thing happens that catches you off guard, it makes you go,
Yeah.
"Whoa!"
Yeah.
Yeah.
My older brother is this big tough guy and totally refuses. He
Won't
would
go
not go
anywhere
see
with
Robert the doll or nothing. He will not do anything. He said, "I'm afraid I'm gonna bring something home." I was like, "Seriously, you big baby?"
I would go into the museum and see Robert the doll.
Oh, it was
you got
awesome.
to, you
It
gotta
was
say,
so cool.
It was our only chance to get there.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
like, we gotta go see.
I'm not a doll fan.
Yeah, yeah. Creepy dolls, yeah, but yeah, it was weird being there with him. It really was, but it was fun. So, we made it back too, alive.
Yeah, Cactus Moonlight says, "Thank you. It was interesting to listen about all the experiences. Thank you so much for joining. We
Yeah.
are live. We do podcasts on Sundays, normally Sundays and Wednesday nights.
Yep.
This week was an exception, so we had these guys on tonight. But normally we're on Sundays and Wednesdays, so you can come back, check us out. They always drop on YouTube as well as Facebook.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys very much.
Yep.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Again,
Nice to meet it. It was a great time. I enjoyed it very much.
Oh, I did too.
Thank you.
Hopefully, we can hunt with you guys sometime.
Yeah, well,
Oh,
So we got a motto in our group says you want to go something with us, get in the truck. So
There you go.
Yeah,
Get
there you
in.
go.
Let's go.
yeah.
Yeah,
For sure, for sure. All right, guys, remember, come back Sunday night when we have future paranormal investigators on at 7 p.m. And we will see you guys then. Thanks so much for joining.
Thanks.
Have
Bye.
a great week.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.